Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Vincent D'Onofrio is an acclaimed American actor, director, and producer, widely recognized for his intense character work and transformative performances across film and television. Born on June 30, 1959, in Brooklyn, New York, D'Onofrio gained early fame for his stunning portrayal of the unstable Private Leonard, Gomer Pyle, Lawrence in Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket, 1987. A role that showcased his deep commitment to character and earned him critical acclaim. D'Onofrio is perhaps best known to television audiences for playing Detective Robert Goren on NBC's Law and Order. Criminal Intent, 2001 to 2011. His portrayal of the brilliant but troubled detective stood out for its psychological depth and intellectual complexity, distinguishing him within the Law and Order franchise. He also received praise for his role as the villainous Wilson Fisk Kingpin in Netflix's Daredevil, where he brought unexpected humanity and menace to the Marvel character. Known for his versatility, D'Onofrio has appeared in a diverse range of roles, from Edgar the Bug in Men in Black to real-life figures like Orson Welles in Ed Wood. Outside of acting, he has directed films, worked in theater, and even written poetry and music. Respected as a character actor, D'Onofrio is admired for his commitment to craft, often undergoing significant physical and psychological transformations for his roles. Career highlights and signature roles. Vincent D'Onofrio's acting range is legendary. He has played everything from disturbed loners to powerful villains and intellectual misfits. Some of his most significant work includes Private Leonard, Gomer Pyle, Lawrence in Full Metal Jacket, 1987. D'Onofrio gained 70 pounds for the role, the most any actor had gained for a film at that time. His chilling performance as a mentally unraveling Marine recruit became iconic. Detective Robert Goren in Law and Order. Criminal Intent, 2001 to 2011, with occasional appearances until 2013. Goren was unlike other detectives on TV, eccentric, hyper-intelligent, and psychologically astute. D'Onofrio's cerebral portrayal made the character a standout. Wilson Fisk Kingpin in Daredevil, 2015 to 2018, and later in Hawkeye and Echo. His Kingpin is a complex villain, brutal but strangely sympathetic. D'Onofrio brought nuance and vulnerability to a comic book antagonist. Edgar the Bug in Men in Black, 1997, a comedic, grotesque performance where he played an alien inhabiting a farmer's body. This unusual role revealed his flair for physical comedy and transformation. Robert Howard in The Whole Wide World, 1996. A sensitive performance as the pulp fiction writer behind Conan the Barbarian, showing his ability to portray tender, tragic figures. Clapperboard behind the camera. D'Onofrio has also explored directing and producing. His directorial debut, Don't Go in the Woods, 2010, was a low-budget horror musical. In 2019, he directed The Kid, a western about Billy the Kid starring Ethan Hawke and Dane DeHaan. His behind-the-scenes work reflects his eclectic artistic tastes and willingness to take creative risks. Face mask acting style and legacy. D'Onofrio is a method actor, known for completely immersing himself in roles, sometimes to the point of physical transformation or emotional exhaustion. He is drawn to psychologically complex characters, and his performances often carry a sense of intensity just beneath the surface. He has earned a reputation among peers as a chameleon and an actor's actor, someone deeply respected for his commitment to craft, even when the roles are unconventional or challenging. Other creative work. Music and spoken word. He has released music and spoken word performances under the name George Geronimo Gurkey, a bizarre, satirical alter ego. These performances are part comedy, part performance art, theater, D'Onofrio maintains a strong connection to the stage and often speaks about its importance in shaping his early career. Family man woman girl personal life D'Onofrio has 3 children and was previously married to Dutch actress Karen van der Donk. He tends to keep his private life low-key. Known for being introspective and occasionally reclusive, he has spoken candidly about the pressures of fame and the emotional demands of acting. Trophy recognition Though he's never been an Oscar nominee, D'Onofrio is critically acclaimed and beloved by fans and fellow actors alike. He has received awards from various film festivals and critics' circles and is often cited as one of the most underrated talents in Hollywood. Influence and reputation in the industry Vincent D'Onofrio is revered by directors, writers, and actors alike for his uncompromising dedication to performance. He's the kind of actor other actors watch closely. Many within the industry describe him as fearless, someone who digs deeply into a character's psychology and isn't afraid to appear unhinged, vulnerable, ugly, or raw. He's been compared to actors like Daniel Day-Lewis and Philip Seymour Hoffman, intense, transformative performers with a deep-rooted love for the craft over celebrity. Movie camera notable collaborations Stanley Kubrick, Full Metal Jacket. D'Onofrio's performance under Kubrick's notoriously demanding direction pushed him physically and emotionally. He's spoken about the psychological toll the role took on him but also credits Kubrick with changing his life as an artist. Robert Altman, the player. D'Onofrio played a memorable supporting role in Altman's 1992 Hollywood satire. His confrontation with Tim Robbins' character is one of the film's most talked about scenes. Marvel Studios. D'Onofrio's performance as Kingpin became a linchpin of the Netflix Marvel Universe, with fans and critics agreeing that he was born to play the role. His portrayal was so popular that he was brought back in Disney Plus shows like Hawkeye, 2021, and Echo, 2024. Ethan Hawke. They worked together on The Kid, a Western D'Onofrio directed, and have spoken publicly about their mutual admiration. Speech balloon public persona and fan engagement Despite his sometimes intense screen presence, D'Onofrio is surprisingly active on social media, especially Twitter, X. He often shares insights about acting, politics, and his own projects. He regularly interacts with fans, offers advice to young actors, and posts about mental health and artistic integrity. He's candid, self-aware, and sometimes cryptic, a blend that fans find authentic and endearing. He uses his platform to lift up indie creators, advocate for social justice, and push back against artistic compromise. Person in lotus position philosophy and artistic ethos D'Onofrio has said in interviews that he doesn't act for fame, money, or red carpets. For him, acting is a way of understanding human beings. He's fascinated by behavior, trauma, contradictions, and he gravitates toward roles that let him explore those depths. In his words, "The thing that interests me most is the darkness in people's hearts." He's also spoken about how his method of working can be isolating or emotionally taxing, but he sees that as part of the job, a sacrifice worth making for the sake of honesty in performance. Book's authorial work in 2022, D'Onofrio published a book of poetry titled Pigs Can't Look Up, a blend of surreal humor, political commentary, and meditations on life, illustrated by his daughter, Layla George. It was well received by fans as a glimpse into his philosophical and playful side. Man detective cult fandom and icon status He has a devoted cult following, especially among fans of Law and Order, Criminal Intent, Daredevil, and Full Metal Jacket. Goren, Kingpin, and Gomer Pyle have become iconic characters in their own right, and many fans cite D'Onofrio's portrayal of these figures as their favorite in the genre. At conventions, he's known for being thoughtful and respectful toward fans. He's not flashy, but he's deeply appreciated by people who value storytelling, depth, and character. Crystal ball current and upcoming projects. As of 2025, D'Onofrio is actively working within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, rumored to appear in future Daredevil, born-again content and possibly crossing into other Marvel series. He's also been involved in independent filmmaking and voice work, and continues to support theater and the arts. Early life and training. Vincent Philip D'Onofrio was born on June 30, 1959, in Brooklyn, New York, and raised in various parts of Florida and Colorado. His Italian-American heritage and working-class upbringing shaped much of his worldview. As a child, he was shy and introverted, often retreating into magic tricks, sound effects, and make-believe. He later studied acting at the American Stanislavski Theater and Actors Studio, immersing himself in method acting and theater. His early days were spent building sets backstage and performing in small New York productions. This blue-collar, hands-on approach to acting remains part of his identity. Face mask stage work and theatrical roots. Before film and television, D'Onofrio developed his craft on stage. He appeared in numerous off-Broadway and regional theater productions throughout the 1980s and has returned to the stage throughout his career. His stage work includes Of Mice and Men as Lenny, a role he's also been rumored to want to adapt for screen. This Is Our Youth and Sexual Perversity in Chicago by David Mamet. Recent involvement in experimental theater and poetry readings, blending performance art and storytelling. D'Onofrio has frequently said he believes theater is the actor's medium, raw, live, and emotionally immediate. Cyclone mental and physical challenges in his career. His immersive acting style has taken a toll. During the filming of Law and Order: Criminal Intent, he collapsed on set from exhaustion in 2004 and was briefly hospitalized. He later spoke openly about burnout and the mental strain of playing Goren, a character who mirrored some of his own emotional intensity. The weight gain for Full Metal Jacket wasn't just physical. The isolation Kubrick imposed on him during filming deeply affected him psychologically. Despite the challenges, he's always returned to acting, driven by what he calls a need to explore human truth. Underrated gems in his filmography. Some lesser-known or underrated performances include The Salton Sea, 2002, a small but memorable role in this noir crime drama starring Val Kilmer. The Cell, 2000, he plays a serial killer in a surreal psychological thriller that remains visually stunning and psychologically twisted. Chained, 2012, a disturbing indie film directed by Jennifer Lynch where he plays a taxi-driving serial killer. It's brutal and uncomfortable, but his performance is horrifyingly real. The Breakup, 2006, he showed his comedic chops as Vince Vaughn's older brother, reminding audiences he can handle humor just as well as darkness. Brain teacher and mentor. D'Onofrio is also passionate about mentorship and teaching. He has worked with acting students and film schools, often emphasizing authenticity and fearlessness over fame. He encourages actors to play the truth, even if the truth is ugly. Especially if the truth is ugly. He has also written acting essays and spoken about the responsibility of storytellers to reflect society's complexity, not just its beauty. Globe cultural and artistic impact. Vincent D'Onofrio's career spans genres, platforms, and decades, from gritty indie films to blockbuster franchises. His ability to disappear into a role has inspired a generation of character actors. He's also one of the rare actors equally respected in film, television, and theater, with fans in comic book circles, prestige drama fans, horror communities, and indie cinema buffs. What makes him enduring isn't just talent, it's integrity. D'Onofrio refuses to phone in a performance. He treats every role, big or small, as worthy of truth, effort, and humanity. His philosophy on playing villains. Vincent D'Onofrio doesn't approach villains as evil, he looks for the wound beneath the behavior. You can't play a villain as a villain. You play them like they're the hero of their own story. This mindset is key to understanding his portrayal of Wilson Fisk, Kingpin, who is terrifying not just because of his strength but because of his deep emotional vulnerability. Fisk's love for Vanessa, his abusive childhood, and his quiet loneliness make him disturbingly human. D'Onofrio's Kingpin isn't a cartoon, he's tragically real. This same approach applied to other, dark characters like Carl Starger in The Cell, 2000, Bob in Chained, 2012, even Private Pyle in Full Metal Jacket, who is a victim long before he becomes a threat. Studio microphone voice work and narration. D'Onofrio's deep, resonant voice has led to compelling voice roles and narration work, including narrator of PBS's The Real Story of Halloween and other documentaries. Voice of Kingpin in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, rumored or under discussion. Voice roles in various indie animation projects, audiobooks, and trailers. His voice has become something of a signature, calm but ominous, fatherly yet unnerving. Red Heart personal causes and activism. D'Onofrio uses his platform to support mental health awareness, especially in the context of the arts. Arts education and funding for theater programs in public schools. Social justice causes, including prison reform, LGBTQ+ rights, and environmental protection. He often collaborates with nonprofit theater groups and indie filmmakers, lending his name to help smaller voices get heard. He is outspoken politically, unafraid to call out injustice or corporate censorship, particularly in Hollywood. Family man woman girl family ties in the industry. Daughter, Layla George, an actress known for roles in Animal Kingdom and Mortal Engines. She's also an advocate for environmental causes and co-illustrated D'Onofrio's poetry book Pigs Can't Look Up. Former wife, Karen van der Donk, a Dutch model and photographer. Though they divorced, they've maintained a respectful relationship and continue co-parenting. He often speaks of his children with deep pride and emphasizes that fatherhood is more important to him than any role he's played. Brain tributes, pop culture presence, and memes in online communities. D'Onofrio has reached meme status, particularly for lines as